Hey, what's up, y'all? Welcome to Battle Wounds Podcast, and I'm your host, Amos St. John.
It's your boy Tank.
Listen, man, we are back. We took about 2 weeks off.
Yeah, man, sometimes had to get out there, stretch our legs a little bit, take a little bit of a break.
Take a breather, man. It was a holiday, my birthday, and
how was it? Matter of fact, how was your birthday, man?
Man, birthday was good, man. Listen, the older you get, you don't do all that fanfare. It's just simple, man. I'm just happy to be alive. I'm happy to be doing what I do.
Did you do something fun, though?
I went to Martha's Vineyard.
Okay, so there we go. Tell us about Martha's Vineyard.
Martha's Vineyard was cool, but before I talk about it, make sure y'all subscribe. Make sure y'all subscribe right now.
Follow and share.
Like right now, follow, subscribe. And make sure you share this with somebody. Like, listen, we back on track. We want y'all to just continue to let this situation grow with Battle Wounds Podcast. We got a lot of good things coming up in store, man. So back to Martha's Vineyard. I went to Martha's Vineyard for the first time, which is outside of Boston, man. And the weather was beautiful. The people are beautiful. Like the city, that whole little island is beautiful, man. They are the tail end of summertime, so the weather was fair, but they get all 4 seasons, so it's about to get cold out there, but it's a beautiful town. We got a chance to walk on this little private beach. If you're on my socials, you'll see me talking about it, man. But yeah, that was the highlight, man. I had a chance to breathe, dog. I think nowadays getting the opportunity to like breathe, like I just stood out there on this little sand in the beach and breathe, man. Like, it's been a crazy couple of months.
No, I get that, man. Sometimes it's like just being able to catch your breath with how fast life is going. Because I don't know about y'all, but these months are going by fast.
Man, we're in September now, man.
Fall is upon us.
We are about to enter Q4, fourth quarter, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And we sooner or later going to be talking about Happy New Year, yo. Like, your time is flying, man. Like this, And so I had a chance to breathe, and I'm starting a new chapter. For those who follow my new socials, I'm starting a new job.
Congratulations, my brother.
Man, it's been a journey, dog.
I know. Look, if y'all don't know, my brother's really been working hard and finding his way in the world and figuring out what pieces he needed to put together to find the right home, and I'm glad you found one.
Brother, it's humbling to go through this leap of faith. I mean, y'all go back to a couple of episodes back. I talked about taking that leap of faith back in the end of 2023, and I left a job without a plan, without much in the bank, and it was something I felt strong about at the time. 44 years of life, it seemed crazy. It really was crazy. Yeah. But sometimes it takes a little crazy to get to where you need to be as far as purpose. And we're gonna do a part about purpose, man, because it's like a lot of people are lost, not knowing like what their what their why is.
Right. And
we're gonna talk a little bit about that. But I went into this ticklish leap of faith and I tried everything. I applied everywhere. I was like, but for those who are believers, man, like, God was with me the whole time, and he directed my paths. He blocked things that weren't supposed to happen.
Yep.
Because my little stubborn tail would have been like, I want to do this. And he's like, that ain't going to work. And so he led me to where I'm at now. I'm starting a new assignment, and it's beautiful, man. So thank you for those who've congratulated me. I appreciate my new family over at Pathway. I know y'all listening and watching. Thank you so much for the love. I'm looking forward to this new chapter, man. And we still, Battle Wounds ain't gonna change. We still at this.
We're still gonna be rocking, y'all.
We're still gonna be rocking. But there's just a new a place that where I'm dwelling, where my heart is, and where I'll be at, man. And so it's just part of the journey, man. I'm glad to be here, man. So so that was it. Birthday, new chapter. We here.
Oh yeah, definitely, man.
Yeah, man. What's going on with you, boss?
Well, just learning to lean on faith and invest more in myself, and just taking the time to make sure my mental health is great. What I mean? That right there, like, I've been calm, I've been peaceful, and I found kind of just a new little sense of peace in that situation,
Yeah.
And, I had to shout out my boy, Will Young. He gave me my first chance at modeling back in the Gap.
Okay.
So if y'all haven't seen anything, This shirt is a Wait to Wear exclusive. If you have not checked it out, check out Wait to Wear. We'll put it in the bio down there.
Yeah.
Make sure y'all check it out. He's got some really dope designs, and I'm telling you, more stuff will be coming. And I promise you, when I rock the stuff, it's gonna make y'all want to buy it. I'm telling you.
Listen,
man.
The info, you're gonna see it on the screen. You're gonna see it in our bio. This episode is brought to us by, say his name again,
Will Young at Wait to Wear.
Listen, we appreciate it. Please support. Look him up. We're gonna put his info on the screen. Put him on the bio, on the description, and y'all support. We appreciate people who support us. We are here to support you.
Hey, it's good to see black fashion. You know what I mean?
Man.
And support it. It's not just gym wear, but it's also lounge wear too.
Dope. Thanks again for support.
Yes, sir.
If you want to be a part of this journey and sponsor with us, hit us up, man. We definitely support anything that is gonna bring life and add value to people, man. So
if it's clothing, you gotta remember that we are two big individuals.
Yeah, we ain't small guys.
Exactly.
Yeah,
if you don't have the sizes, y'all need to create the sizes.
That part
right now.
That part. But yeah, man. So that's the journey. We took a 2-week break. Thank you again for following and being back apart. I know y'all missed us last week. Had a little technical difficulty. Mm-hmm. We're in transition to a new studio, and so we just gotta kind of work a little, work our way there. But we appreciate y'all tuning in. This episode, man, we want to continue on. We talked about thirst traps last time, man, and y'all go back and look at that. But yeah, we talking about thirst traps. But you know what? We both single men.
Yeah.
Yeah, we both single guys.
Single, ready to mingle.
With the right one.
With the right one.
Yeah,
not just saying, not opening the door for everything, but only the right thing. Exactly, close the door. They ain't ready for all that. You know what I'm saying? They ain't ready for all that.
So, I'm curious, we want to talk a little bit about turn-ons and turns-offs.
Oh, yeah.
Turn-on and turn-offs. Like, what are some things? What are some things that is a turn on that, of course, we talked a little bit about, in thirst trapping, like there's pretty women out there. There's pretty guys. There's guys that are in shape, and there's people that just got it going on. And so I know that's probably a turn on, but may not be for everybody.
Oh, yeah.
And so I just want to have a little conversation, man. What are some turn-ons and what are some turns-offs out here in these streets, man? And I love, and y'all can jump in the comments. Y'all can jump, and
we want to hear y'all on this one.
Yeah,
this is gonna be good.
Yeah, we want to hear y'all. I threw a questionnaire a couple weeks ago, and I got a few answers back from that. And I think one person was mentioning that consistency, authenticity. I think that was a big word, authenticity.
Yeah,
that's a big turn on for it was a lady, and one of my friends responded and said, she's like, yo, authenticity is a big thing for me. And I agree. I think for women, even for men, I think so many people, we talk about thirst trapping, they present themselves to be this specimen, this figure, this perfect figure. Mm-hmm. And when you sit and talk with them, there is a certain sense of, I don't want to say lack of authenticity. That's my experience,
I think a lot of it is just trying to create a narrative for the world to follow.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter really to them in that sense what it is at the very beginning, as long as they get that rudimentary attention, mm-hmm. and they get what they want just from it. Now, can they keep up the facade? I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
Because when you have to try to fight to be somebody else, a person who is well, versed in this dating world or just being themselves can tell when somebody's doing something that they're just trying to keep up this mirror image, mm-hmm. of, maybe I carry myself too highly, and it's like, man, come back down to reality.
Authenticity. I think
exactly.
I think I get that a lot. Even when people talk to me or meet me, they're like, man, you're just sincere. You're authentic. Like, you can really, and I like that even when I talk to people. Like, don't tell me what I want to hear. Just tell me, just be yourself, man. Be honest, be authentic, man. And I love that. Like, the few great conversations I've had, mm-hmm. in the last few years of being single were the authentic ones. Somebody's just like, listen, man, this is what's going on. Like, they'll tell me about other dates. You know what I'm saying? Like, listen, we know yo, listen, yeah,
you
like
if
tell
you
me
out
like
there dating, yeah.
You
that's
tell me
true.
about other dates, like I went out with this date, it went well, or it was horrible, or you know what I'm saying. And I like that though. I like that because it's like, okay, you're not gonna present this facade, because maybe the naive me years ago would think like, okay, I want to feel like it's only me.
Nah,
but that's not real. That ain't true. You know what I'm saying? You live a little life, you start realizing that ain't just you out here.
Well, I think people forget the concept of dating in general. They're like this. Well, I have to focus on the first person I talk to. That's not true. Dating means that you're free to talk to who you want to talk to in what way you want to talk to, and until you and that other person make a compromise, a pact that y'all are gonna be the only two talking to each other, then you're free to talk to who you want to talk to and conduct your life in any way, form, or fashion that you want to.
That's good. Yeah. So once I realized that and accepted, like, yo, you may have multiple options. I may have multiple options. You know what I'm saying? Like until we make that exclusivity,
right?
You know what I'm saying? I think it's free game, and so, I like the authenticity of that. When I come across someone and he was like, I just was on a date the other day and, the guy was nice and this and that, he wasn't chivalrous, whatever they call it. Like he wasn't opening doors and stuff like that. Like I like hearing that because it gives me a little bit pointers, like make sure you stay on top of your, that, you know what I'm saying? Like those would be little pointers. Be like,
well, nowadays, sometimes chivalry gets stomped out, moved out, thrown out the window, because if you're chivalrous, then it's called being a simp, and that's not really true.
That sucks. That simp. Oh my gosh.
But the thing is, it's like this: do you care what the culture got to say, or do you care
be
about
authentic?
How you feeling?
Be authentic.
Raised?
Be authentic.
Exactly.
Be
It's
authentic.
the authenticity.
Yeah.
Now, mind you, this though, there are people who will take advantage of that and make it look like you should never be chivalrous. But those are also the ones that you should not be around.
That part.
And if they haven't learned that that's the way life is supposed to be, and you're supposed to be respectful and do these things, and you can't appreciate it, remove that from them. Remove yourself from them.
That's
and
good.
See how much they really don't appreciate that.
Man.
Then they're going to stay like, well, man, there's no good guys out here, and it's like, well, you just made it worse, because the good guy that really tried to do something for you, you took advantage of him,
or took it for granted.
Exactly, took for granted what a good guy was. Now, either one or two things are going to happen with that guy. Either he's going to continue to be authentic and move on, or he's going to be hurt a little bit, and that authenticity is going to waver, and now he's going to be a little less chivalrous because he feels the rest of the world doesn't want him to be chivalrous.
I can attest to that. I've been married. I was married 12 years, and so I kind of been out the game. But now that I'm back in a single world, and I'm just kind of, just browsing.
Yep. Perusing.
Just,
there we go, perusing.
I noticed that I'm a good, like, I'm one of those cool, good guys. I'm not a dog, or whatever, man. I'm not a player. I don't know what they call it, but to certain people, they might call me a simp because I'm nice, you know what I'm saying? I don't cuss a lot, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm cool, I'm a man of the cloth, so I go to church, so I know that automatically puts me in you one of those guys. And like, no, I'm cool, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? But I've accepted the fact that, you know what? I'm going to be authentically me. I'm not going to change myself to fit society's things. Like, so I may not be attracted or attract to other certain type of women these days because they want they want a bad guy, a guy that, that just got baby mama drama or got something going on. Like, to me, like I was mentioning about the dating show, they was like, I didn't think they picked me because I was boring, because I don't have drama.
Well, at the same time, you don't have to have drama to have some type of attention. Now, I'm gonna tell you this though, is the ones who are attracted to that aren't meant for you, and that's really the sad part, because the one that you attract to a lot of times are like that.
Yeah.
Because they put themselves out like that to a point where they attract all these likes, all these views because of how they look,
man,
in that sense. But if there's no substance under that, it'll burn out real quick. Don't get it twisted. I've met some beautiful women on that situation, and it's like, after like the visual, I'm attracted to you, wears off, and it's like,
That conversation.
The conversation was not there. And the substance
That's
wasn't there.
probably why I got off of dating sites, man. Because conversation. I'm a conversationalist. I like to talk. I like to spark conversations because you get to learn a lot about people through conversations.
Yeah.
And so I like to. I have a certain level of conversational intelligence, meaning that I know how to navigate a conversation to kind of lean it somewhere and knowing, okay, maybe I need to end it or, just have that awareness. And so what I've noticed is that, like, I try to navigate a conversation and it just falls flat. It's like, this girl just basically wants me to ask to sleep with her. Like, that's all she cares about. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, what happened to some substance? Like, I'm not here to sleep with you. I'm here to just get to know you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm here to just have conversation, like have fun. Let's go, grab some coffee or go see a movie. We'll do something. But I've noticed what has fallen flat a lot of times in conversation is like when you try to, I don't say go deep, but trying to have like, what are some common interests? You know what I'm saying? Like, what do you like to do, besides, scrolling through Instagram or TikTok? You know what I'm saying? Like, and sometimes that has fallen flat because maybe that's just not where everybody's at now.
Well, and I get that. I'm gonna throw something in there that is a big turnoff, and it's the games. Like, I can't stand that. Like, I can't stand it. It's kind of like oxymoronic because they'll be like, be consistent, but don't be consistent. I hate that. It's like this. If I like you and I'm giving you attention and I'm trying to stay consistent and it becomes a point where you're inconsistent and then I withdraw my consistency and then you're like, well, why you stop being consistent? It's like, hold on, wait. I gave you all the consistency that you asked for.
Yeah.
You gave me absolutely the bare minimum. And when you gave me the bare minimum and I start driving back and kind of walking back and like, oh, I'm good, then you want to pay attention to it.
See, those games, I'm going to say something. It might be trigger warning.
Hold on. Hey, we have a trigger warning right now.
Trigger warning. So
trigger warning.
Trigger warning. What is a big turnoff for me with those games is that sense of entitlement.
And there's the trigger.
That E word, they go that E word. We warned you.
Exactly.
Entitlement. Like, that probably another reason why I got off of dating sites. Because it was like this sense of entitlement. I want you to do the thing. I want you to pick the job. I want you to pick the date. I want you to pick. I'm like, yo, can we agree? Like, I don't know what you like, so I don't know if going here is going to be something, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
But there's this sense of entitlement. I need the man. First of all, I keep going to the soapbox, but I watch a lot of dating shows now on YouTube, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And there's one in particular, these women, they're highlighted every week and men basically shoot their shot, you know what I'm saying? And some of their requisites like, oh, this man got to make 6 figures and he got to do this. And I'm sitting there like, then what are you bringing to, like, I know you're pretty. I mean, obviously that's it, and then this one particular time, this chick, I hopefully did not watch it, but if they are, hey, this is my opinion. They were like, okay, I need my man, to give me an allowance.
Where my flag at? Hold on. Did I just acquire a child?
Yo, they want an allowance like it is, and it was like, I want the allowance to be like $2,000 a week, or if you're making 6 figures, I need my allowance. And not the chick is bad. Like, she was pretty. Like, I was like, okay, like, cool. And the thing is, the reality is, there are men that are doing that. Like, she's not like, she's not, and that's the crazy part. That's wild to me, but that's the reality. Like, there's men like, you want, they got it like
so
that.
So what they're really doing is buying love, or wanting to buy or acquire love the same way they would acquire a house.
Transactional. It's a transactional thing.
Transactional. And the thing is, that's not love right there. Man. Honestly, what that is I want you to take care of everything, and I want to take care of nothing. And I want you to be able to give me anything that I want, and I'll give you the bare minimum in that situation. It's no disrespect. If that's what y'all want to do in that situation, that's perfectly fine, because that is who you are at the same time. But don't be surprised is that when you fall in love with a real guy, and a guy don't give you the same love back because you're stuck in that circle of what you said that you wanted, and he doesn't agree with you, because nowadays, I'm gonna be honest with you, due to inflation, it's really expensive just to live and function, even if you have a 6-figure job, because if you actually look at taxes, you're not taking 6 figures home. You're not, and you're constantly trading time for money. So even if you make $500,000, $600,000, $700,000, you're trading in time for money. So you look at how stressed out and just wore out the majority of people who make that much money on a constant level, how much they are. You don't have the time.
Let me add a keyword. People that are making that much money legally.
Exactly. Now you have scammers. You have people who are doing some of these funny little jobs that all of a sudden accumulate a crap ton of money.
Listen, there's some ballers out there.
Oh yeah, no, don't.
There's some ballers out there. I ain't hating the game, but it's reality. Some of that stuff is not legal.
Dude, I've trained some of the most like wealthy people that you can think of in the sense, but at the same time, I'm looking at how stressed out they are.
Listen, the quality of life is trash.
It's like the women that they're looking for are not those transactional. They're looking for ones that will be a good wife, a good mother,
nurturer,
a nurturer, not somebody who's over there with their hands out trying to get everything. And again, it's no disrespect if that's your thing, what cool. You like to do. Be honest with yourself.
So there's a circle in life where people all they cares about is appearance. Like, you know what I'm saying? A certain status, certain class is like, yo, the person in my arms got to look a certain way. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially in Hollywood, A-listing, B-listers, you know what I'm saying?
Of course.
And so that's not my world. And so it may sound foolish to me, like, so some of these women are speaking from that, I used to date a NBA ball, you know what I'm saying, player. And so that's that life where they got to walk around with trophies. And so I think we getting more of that, of women who, are after like those now you see in college because of the whole,
NIL
deal. So these young, college kids are balling.
Be careful out there nowadays, because a lot of them will still play that old school game that even when my dad and them were still in college, that they'll get pregnant by somebody who's got a hell of an NIL deal and be like, well, now my kid's going to get taken care of and I'm going to get taken care of. Now, again, I'm not saying that all women are like that, because the majority of them are not like that. These are just ones that are specialized in that group. And they have a certain set of skills that really put them in that circle. And the thing is, there are beautiful women who don't do that, and who have morals and have standards and have ways that they want to conduct themselves. And at the end of the day, I'm not talking to them. For me, it's the game of the communication game for me in general. Like, if I'm having a conversation with you about something, and we're gonna be consistent in our conversation, and you just start putting out inconsistencies left and right, I'm liable to leave you where you stand.
That's good.
Because if I'm going to be consistent with you, I expect the same.
Yeah.
Or I don't want to have to act like I don't like you for you to like me.
Yo,
I hate that. That's the dumbest thing in the world.
Act like you're not interested. Like,
exactly. It's the dumbest thing in the world.
I've seen that a lot. Like, when I am a jerk, they love that. Like, oh my gosh, you're so rude. Like, I'm not naturally a jerk. I'm a warm guy. Like, but like when
I can't say that. I'm not really a jerk. I'm just, when I'm tired, I'm not that person.
Yeah,
I'm just not that person.
I'm from New York, so of course there's a jerk side to me. Like, This there. Yeah. So I can't lie and say I'm not a jerk. I can be one.
Honest. I'm just being open and honest.
But but for me is, I see that like some women like the roughness of it, like softness, like, they're talking about, the soft girl era, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, a lot of girl, I'm on my soft girl era, like, but a lot of these women, as soft as they would want to be, they would want the opposite, you know what I'm saying, with a man, which I guess it all depends. I don't know what they're accustomed to, but they just misinterpret what a man, they associate men to being just rough. You know what I'm saying? Or they associate strength to being you know what I'm saying, hard, and you know what I'm saying, like, and it's like meekness is not weakness.
It's
you know what I'm
not.
saying? You know, and sometimes some of the most rugged, you know, hard men are the softest. You know, like it does that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Look. I'm gonna be 100% with you on that. It's when they see those men, right? Because I've got that side. I can be very stoic and not really say anything, and just be very quiet. You don't know what that man is going through, and a lot of times they take how they see their fathers, especially if they're stoic, and dad never shows that there's ever a problem. But you do not know what your dad's going through until he gets older, and then he starts to really, if he decides to open up and tell you why he was like that. So in the same sense that if you don't show your daughter that emotion and show that there is an issue and how you deal with your issues, and that men do have emotions in general, and no man wants to be hard 24/7 around a woman, because the world's already hard enough to deal with.
Listen, I could imagine if a woman was sitting here in the studio as we record this podcast, we would probably hear a mouthful as to what we're talking about, like what they expect from men. Like, a man, you know, I don't want a man I can just, you know, run over, like, or, you know, basically, you know, boss around and stuff like that. And I think sometimes it's always misinterpreted or misconstrued. Like, sometimes a quiet means, you know, soft or easily manipulated, like, and that's not the case. Like, for me, you know, I'm a quiet guy. My nature, you know, and to certain people, you know, I'm 6'3", so I may look intimidating, but I'm really approachable, you know what I'm saying? But the reality is that I don't come off as a jerk to a lot of, you know what I'm saying, to women. I may come off as gentle, you know what I'm saying, a gentle giant, what some people may refer me to, but it doesn't mean that that other side doesn't exist, you know what I'm saying? I just means that I have more self-control, you know what I'm saying? Like, the way I operate my emotions and stuff like that is different.
You have more emotional intelligence.
Yeah, so it's like, I know how to, you know what I'm saying? But from what I've experienced or witnessed or just watched, you know, observed, I guess the better word is that some women, again, they're all about the shell. Like, what I like is a shell, a rough shell. And I'm just like, that, you know, like that's.
But if you also look at what happens a lot of time when the man is just completely just hardened and it seems like he almost soulless in the moment, when things hit the fan and things get crazy, one or two things are going to happen. Either he's going to go off the handle because all he's ever had to be in front of you is angry and mad and quiet and shut in. Or you might see the moment that man break, and when you see that man break, you're not gonna have to deal with it. Listen, and that's the crazy thing about it, is that, again, this is why I put it on fathers, to make sure that your daughters know what it looked like when a man has emotions. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, if they don't know because they haven't seen their father act that way, or their male role model,
that's so good. That is so good.
Whoever raises them in that sense. They are monkey see, monkey do. They're copycat. They will only recognize what they see. It's the same way if a man is being raised and his mother doesn't show any emotion. A lot of them lack emotion in that situation, and they don't know how to show love, because mothers are supposed to show how to nurture how to show that love and that emotion. That's why that dichotomy has to be there in that situation. You know what I mean? And it's a turn off, because I know that there's better out there, and I know and I expect the same from, you know, another person to be that consistent, to do all that same thing that you want. But the game of like, I gotta act like I don't like you for you to like me, and to do, I'm not doing that. I refuse to do that. I'm done with that lifestyle.
But you know, there's people that do that. They like the game, the chase, the all that stuff. And you know, you get to a certain life. You know, it gets to a point in life. You know, again, I'll go back to a therapy session I had with my therapist, and he gave me this jewel. This thing has blessed me. He said, you know, there's stages in life that people are. Like, when you're dating, you got to figure out what stage they're in. And it was 3 stages he mentioned. He said recreation, procreation, and destination.
Right.
And he said, now, those stages don't fall into age. Now, you would associate, you know, recreation to younger, like the 20s, you know what I'm saying? Procreation, you associate that in your 30s, okay.
Yeah.
And destination 40 and up, you would think, okay, destination mean like, okay, we are shooting for a destination, retirement. You know what I'm saying? You know, like,
Right.
So for recreation, now there's some 40-year-olds that are in recreational mode.
Well, at the same time, it's like there is no age limit to it.
That's what I'm saying. And so it's like meeting somebody and figuring out where they are in their life. You know what I'm saying? Like for me, I'm more in the destination mode, meaning like I'm not wasting time playing around. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I would like to get married again and get more kids. That's God's will, so that procreation still exists for me. But I'm more in a destination mode. Like, all right, the decisions I make now, how's it going to affect me 10, 20 years from now?
Well, I would say this. I'm kind of in a mixture right now because I do enjoy the aspect of being able to recreationally, you know, date.
You're younger,
but at the same time, I am also looking at the person who I'm going to procreate with, and also who I would like to grow old with, and also have something with. But that does not mean that I'm going to take the bottom of the barrel. And what I mean by bottom of the barrel has nothing to do with looks. It has nothing to do with anything. That it is the way that you carry yourself and the way that you treat me.
Listen,
and that's the main thing.
So turn-ons and turns-offs. That's what turn-ons and turn-offs. That's what we're talking about. One of the biggest things that I've noticed that I watch for or in conversation is how healthy is your relationship with your father.
Oh, there you go. There you go. I've said that multiple times.
That thing has came back and bit me in the butt, a gazillion times at 45 years of age. So I in conversation, that's the reason why I'm big on conversation, because you find out a lot about people. And the thing is that there are plenty of amazing women out there who may not have had a healthy relationship with their father figure or father. And so it's not one size fits all, you know what I'm saying? But I'm saying I normally can gauge how well I am viewed or treated based on how
you treat your father.
Listen now,
I'm telling you.
Man, that thing came at and beat me in the butt because I ignored red flags in past. And so I mention that because it's so important in conversation to find out, like, you know, how healthy their relationship. Now, there's some women that may have healthy relationships with their dad, but still treat dudes
look. The world has done a number. On them at that moment.
So it's not one, but to me, a turn on and turn off, if you don't have a really healthy relationship with your father figure, I am kind of side-eyeing a little bit, because I'm just like, do you know how, you know, to because it falls onto the, like, how do you respect the male figure? You know what I'm saying? Like, it falls in like respecting, because again, I can say there's a lot of women I've known that didn't have healthy relationships with their dad.
You're talking about daddy issues.
I'm trying to get. See, that's a whole nother pod.
And look, man. Hey,
that's a whole nother podcast.
There's a whole real situation
because there's daddy issues and there's mother issues too. But, but what I notice is that now I'm noticing how they view like relationships and roles and, you know, and stuff like that. And now I look at that like, you know, I'm kind of like looking inside like, you know, how this is going to turn out, because if you don't have a healthy outlook on men based on your, you know, relationship or lack of relationship with your father or father figure, you know, then that to me kind of puts me in a very space like, I don't know, that I won't say that's a turn off, but it's leaning more towards the turn offs than turn ons, you know.
Well, it goes into the same thing. And this is a turn off, if you way too into social media and it's not for your betterment of like your career or anything like that, that's a turn off, because that means you're trying to get validation from people who don't know you or even care about you.
Man.
And all you're trying to do is just, you're trying to satiate that feeling of being alone in that situation.
A turn on is confidence.
By all means, and I was about to say that.
A turn on, like, because again, someone who's so caught up in social media and that search for identity, it's a turn off, because there's a confidence issue, there's a self-esteem issue, and it goes both for male and female. And so like, I appreciate confidence, meaning that I am who I am, whether, you know, you think I'm pretty, whether you think I'm this and that, or how my body, how I'm, you know, saying I am fully acceptance to who I am, and I love that. Like that can be extremely attractive.
I'm trying to tell you,
if a woman like is just listen, if she is confident in who she is,
boy, look, I'm gonna tell you.
Listen,
I'm gonna tell you
that's a turn on.
Look, ladies, if you're confident, I promise you. Every guy will be knocking at your door because it's just something that you exude, and we just are attracted to that type of energy.
Confidence is not a look.
It's not.
That's the thing, because
it's that energy, man.
It's the energy, man. So confidence is not a look. Like someone's like, she look confident. That's it's the energy. It's the energy, man. And that's why I'm big on conversation, because you can tell the truth. Like, because confidence is not flashy.
It's not. It's really not.
Confidence is not. Some most confident women are not the flashiest. Now, there are from flashy, confident women. Praise the Lord. But there's some women that the way they carry it is so dope. Like I'm like, man, like yo. Like,
have you ever been in? I say this in a woman's presence, like a woman's presence, who's got that confidence that they exude in every single bit, whether it's physical. It's mental, it's spiritual, and it's the energy, right? It's like this, ma'am. You can get my whole entire wallet. You can go ahead and get the ring. You can get anything. I'm over here in the back over here acting like the little boy, getting like, what's your name? I'll tell you.
Can I get a chance?
Exactly.
Listen,
that, but it's like it's being like that. It's like inside. If you can make a man feel like that, where he's just drawn to you that much without you even speaking words to him, but he can see how you walk. I'm trying to exactly. That feeling is
that
like
confidence.
Hold on, man. I feel the same way you catch a spirit in church. He's in it. Hold on, Jesus. Give me a second. Hallelujah. Thank you.
Because I get excited thinking about it, because I am drawn to a good conversation.
Oh yeah.
Listen, I can sit there and I'm looking and I'm like, listen, man, I've had, and I've had some great conversations, and there's some people I still interact with that have great conversations. But man, that's a major turn on for me, is good conversation. Meaning that there's a balance like that. We feeding off each other. There's an energy, you know what I'm saying? And man, to sit down and just talk and get lost in conversation, man, bro.
I'm telling you, I think some of the dopest situations is where y'all not even anywhere fancy, doesn't matter. Y'all are either like at the park, at the coffee shop. Heck, y'all could be sitting in the car listening to old school R&B. I love that. Just having that conversation, and you lose track of time.
I love it, man.
I'm trying to tell you, you had a conversation from 8. It's 2:00 in the morning. You like, dang, I gotta go. I gotta go to work. But you know what? It was worth it.
For me,
every bit of that.
I can count in one hand where I've had like dope conversations with the opposite sex, with females, and I'm talking about in so many different levels. Because for me, and I'm giving my cheat code away. What makes me is that I am. Only a few people caught this, that I'm extremely layered. There's so many layers to Amos St. John, and it's not like mysterious layers, but there's a spiritual side of me that's deep. There's a musical, creative side of me. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's so many different sides of me, and there's been only a few people that was able to kind of hang with me on those different layers of me, and that, man.
But I'm telling you, look, keys open doors.
Listen, bruh.
Keys open doors.
Man, and so... To me, in my stage in life, of course, the physical is great. That's a turn on. But it's just, it's deeper than that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, now, if I'm in recreational mode, of course, physical, that carries it. But for someone who's in destination, who's looking for the next 10, 20 years of life and riding off to the sunset, I'm looking for a little bit more deeper, you know what I'm saying? So that's just for me. This ain't for everybody. Some people may be in recreational mode. Like, listen, I just need, a big, what is it? Never trust a big button to smile. Some people may go for that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not there. Like, that's cool. You know what I'm saying? But I need a little bit more.
The bell bib devote.
Listen, man. Never trust a big button to smile. That girl, I'm
not even going to tell you what that song was about, but I'm not going to say nothing about. Look, we're going to keep it PG on here.
Yeah, listen. But PG. Seriously, though, like, the physical always... for me is great, but the older I get, the more I need more than physical. So for me, even in social media, I ain't gonna lie, like I scroll by, I'm like, whoo, she's beautiful.
Look, man,
like she's great.
I can't even say that that's not completely part of what I'm into. Like for me, I work out a lot.
Yeah.
I hit the gym a lot. I want somebody who's into the same thing because
Health is wealth.
Exactly. The way you treat your body is the way that you show respect to yourself.
That's the same for me. Because that part of the conversation is like, okay, I go to the gym regularly. And my part of my journey is like, to extend the length of my life, you know what I'm saying? Like, exactly. I value and prioritize health.
Now, like I've said before, not everybody is gonna look like an IG model because half those situations aren't even 100% who they are, because again, there's Photoshop, there's altercation and surgeries.
Yep.
But at the same time, if I see a woman in there in the gym on her purpose, taking care of herself, that is so attractive.
That's a turn on.
It don't matter if you look like a video vixen or you are just trying to be healthy. It's attractive because you are showing the same kind of care that I show to myself and my body. And the thing is, the gym is also a place, it's a sanctuary at the same time. So like if I catch you and you catch eyes with me and we vibing on the same thing, come work out with me, right there, you've already got a good couple of checks in my book. And it really has, again, it doesn't have anything to do just saying like, oh my God, you have to be in the best shape of your life. It's just the fact that we have that connection. We have like-minded conversations. We have like-minded goals. We have all those, and it's like it's easily communicated to me in the gym.
But okay, now I'm gonna turn it for me. What's a turn off? Okay, so when I tell a female that I'm a pastor, it automatically changes their disposition. Like, oh my gosh, I gotta be correct. Or I'm like, no,
be yourself.
No, that's such a and I get it, but it's like, come on now, like, preachers, pastors, musicians, church musicians, we all human. I'm a regular juggler guy. You know what I'm saying? I just make better decisions than average.
Look, hey.
Supposed to be.
Hey, I'm about to say, do your research now. All of them are making great decisions.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
We are supposed to be set apart. And so, but it's such a turn off the minute because I'm not going to hide it. Now there's some, guys that'll hide it and, you kind of have to dig and find out, oh, I didn't know you were this. For me, I'll just let you know, this is me, this is my calling, this is what I walk, but I'm still human. I like to, you know what I'm saying? I still have fun. There are restrictions and boundaries I got to abide by, but still there's limitless amount of fun I can have that's still right, that's fine, that's, you know what I'm saying, that's safe. But I hate when they just change. I was like, man, like, that's so whack, and I just automatically, like, I'm clocked out.
It's the same thing when people make that, preconceived notion that I'm looking for a video vixen
because of you're a
bodybuilder, because I do whatever. Look,
your personal trainer is like.
I done find some of the most beautiful women, again, just be the most chill, laid back. Now, again, I'm that's my prerequisite is to hit the gym. But at the same time, if you are just a blessing and a vibe at the same time,
let's go.
And you are confident, and one of my biggest turn-ons when it comes to that is a woman who knows what she wants.
That's it.
I'm trying to take.
Listen,
sign me up.
Authentic to me is like, I am a very authentic, transparent guy. Like, you talk to me, I'm just gonna tell you like it is. Like, I've learned to be like that. And you know what surprises me, Tank? Like, a lot of women can't handle that. Like authenticity, like transparency. They they look at me like you're a unicorn. Like, like you telling the truth, or you let it be known. Because I recall when I first got divorced, and I would say, hey, I'm recently divorced. Like, women be like, wow, like. They were surprised because most men would not say that. Like, they would just kind of like, that would be, and that's to each his own. For me, I'm like, listen, man, like, it's part of my journey. Like, and also it gets that out the way, because I know for some women that's a no-no. Like, a divorced man or got kids or whatever, they're like, no. So I like to get that out the way. So whether you're gonna stay or go, I would know. Versus we invest time and time passes, and then you find out, oh, I didn't know you were married. I didn't know you got a kid. Listen, I'm gonna put all that on the table out from the get go. You let me know whether it's something you want, because it's like I'm at a stage in my life. I ain't gonna waste no time. Like, you know what I'm saying? Don't like no.
And I get it. Like, I completely get it. I'm a unicorn. I hear that all the time. I am 34.
Yeah.
I don't have any kids.
Yeah.
I got all my teeth. I got a good job. I got a car. I got my own place.
Yeah, listen.
I'm trying to tell you.
You know what they say about personal trainers?
Look, man, if you don't got... Look, man, we're not like that. No. It's like this. Look, man, I like the money. Yeah. Not the honey.
Listen,
I'm all right with that.
Because women be like, "Are you a personal trainer?"
My favorite. I got 2 jobs that qualify me as such.
Oh yeah, because you're.
I do bodyguarding and bouncing, and I'm also a personal trainer. And all of a sudden, it's women like, oh, I know your type. I'm like this. You don't know me.
You just.
I like to help people. That is literally what I do. And I enjoy doing that.
And they know what they say about musicians, like, oh, you a musician, you this and that, oh, this and that.
Oh, you ain't no better than me in that situation. Look, he over here trying to act like he just better. And so, well, you know, I'm a pastor. But I'm a musician, and it's like this. Checkmate. It's okay.
I fall into that. Oh yeah, I know y'all musicians, especially y'all popular ones. Nah, we get it all the time. But seriously, man, it's like, authenticity, honestly, that honesty is so, transparency is so big. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's authenticity and there's transparency.
Yeah.
And transparency meaning like, yo, all my flaw, I'm gonna let you know, like what you see is what you get. Like, I don't want to just present my best, but I'm gonna present my authentic self. And it may be like I let the through conversation, you know how to kind of deal with people. Like, I can read people well, like most of the times. And so I know how far I need to go with them. Like, now some people I met, some females I met, I knew telling them I'm in therapy, it would have just been right over their head. You know what I'm saying? Like, some women I knew, they would be like, oh man, like there's a couple of females that I was dating in the past that like they started going to therapy because I was in therapy.
Yeah.
Because it's like they noticed through conversation how therapy helped me.
And the thing is, if they can figure out that you've been like, I've had conversations with some young ladies, and they've been telling me like, hey, look, you sound like you got your head on straight. Mm-hmm. Like, what's really going on? I mean, I've been through therapy. I've been through a lot in my life. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of things that I had to heal from, and I had to look and see why I acted that way during a certain situation, and I'm not gonna make the same mistakes anymore. I'm going to make better choices, and it would be doing you a disservice if I'm not a open book with you and tell you what it is. And a lot of them thought it was refreshing.
Listen,
it's just a level of honesty, man.
Honesty, listen, man. Like, I talk about, like, again, I'm divorced. And then another thing for me, I'm a very present father. Like being Gracie's dad is a serious thing. Like, I don't play with that. Like, you know what I'm saying? No matter who I date, like, great, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, man.
I'm in her life, and there's no compromise with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, and so I let them know I'm a very present father. Like, that's a priority to me. You know what I'm saying? It's not like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's I'm not like, what's their word? I don't know if it's a helicopter parent, however, but like it's important for me. Like, you know what I'm saying? And so, like, I let them know, like, yeah, Gracie is a tremendous part of my life. And so, like, you got to understand, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're not going to have...
Package deal. Package deal.
It's a package deal. So, but transparency is a big thing. And I appreciate, people who can handle that. Not everybody can handle transparency. I hate to say it, some women like to be lied to.
Because it's so much easier to be lied to than to digest the truth.
That's one of the revelations. Like,
that's a lot of people though.
There's a lot of people just much rather you lie to them. Like, yeah, like, hey, yeah, I'm this and that. I make $1 gazillion a year.
I'm gonna make you laugh. How many times you done heard? I want somebody who gonna keep it 100 with me, and I'm like this. Now, if I kept it 100 with you, you gonna hate me. I promise you. I promise you're gonna hate me.
There's a lot of people that want to be lied to, man. They want this facade. They want to live what they see on social media. Like they want to die like that. Like social media is kind of brings that whole mirage and facade of things, and they want that lie. And I'm like, nah, you ain't gonna get that with me. You gonna get the truth. Like you gonna get, if you don't want the truth, then
the truth will what?
Set you free. And man, and so I noticed that in my observations, man, and I'm telling you, man, like the turn-ons and turns-offs in just in dating, even in relationships, even when I can speak again because I was married, and so that carries over. Like even though, I think what happens when you get married is like, okay, now till death do us part, you got this whole forever. So you kind of like your turns and turn-offs are kind of like diluted or erased because it's like you got to deal with the good, bad, and the ugly. But I feel like getting remarried, I'm feel like my prayer is that I can carry that on. Even, you know what I'm saying? Like, never stop the pursuit of, you know what I'm saying, your mate. And I feel like I can meet someone. Because I think sometimes some women or men, when they get married, they just kind of let go. Like, all right, I did all the work to get here.
Well, yeah, because they get used to that. Like, once I found my person, I have to put no work in anymore. Like, and again, a lot of people, I've said it before, fall in love and are infatuated with the idea of being married
and it's
in
work.
Love.
It's work.
And they don't want to put the work in once they achieve it.
Because we do the work as single men, then and single women, and then you gotta do the work. And when you get, like, you know what I'm saying, you get you one, you find your person.
That's when it starts.
That's when the real work starts. And so I have that experience, and I noticed, like, when people get remarried, like, it goes 10 times better. You know what I'm saying? Because they apply from their mistakes that they learned. Like, they corrected the mistakes. And for me, I noticed a lot of things that you know what I'm saying? Like, there was a lot of things that I overlooked in the dating phase, those red flags. And then when we got married, I was like, oops. It came back and bit me in the butt. And now I know, like, okay, don't ignore it. Like, there's some there's some things that you don't let slide. Don't let that slide.
And that kind of segues into one thing that I know, and that we're gonna say. It's gonna be a trigger alert.
Uh-oh, trigger alert.
Accountability.
Uh-oh.
You see how I got quiet? It got real quiet. The lack of accountability.
So we said entitlement was the first trigger. The second one is
the lack of accountability.
Oh my Jesus. My gosh. Ooh, so
my God!
Gotta sound the sirens now.
It's your fault. Well, you did this. The tit for tat stuff has to die. I'm sorry, it does.
Listen, buddy.
The whole I don't want to be accountable for the stuff that I do and bring into it. Because guess what? In my circle, if you're not accountable. Because I'll be the first one to apologize to somebody. And
listen,
I know I made a mistake.
I quick to own my own file. I will own my own mess up. Yeah, I'll own it. You gotta own it. Like, I messed up. Like, you know what I'm saying? If I file, but I think there are women out there that want you to own their file.
I'm not owning anybody's file but my own.
But it's like, okay, I messed up, so you gotta
Well, you know what? Let me rephrase that. If I'm the head of a household, I'm taking accountability for the stuff that goes on in my house, because if I allow it, that's my fault ultimately, especially if it's put on me. But if you are my partner and you don't have any type of accountability for anything you do, we're gonna have some problem. It's gonna be trouble. I'm trying to tell you,
accountability is big. Like, and you can notice things when people who are not accountable, like, because they're always blame shifting, like it's somebody else. Like, how, like, for me, like, I'm always watching how one thing I notice, and again in dating, is how somebody talk about their ex or former relationships or how they ended. They were like, there was one particular person I was dating, and they were just talking about, when I lost interest, I just left, or something to that. They just ended the relationship, and I was just like,
But what did you do?
The thing was, like, so when you start losing interest in a relationship,
check out.
Just checked out, and I was like, I said, duly noted. Dude, you know that, like, because I'm like, I pay attention to how, you know what I'm saying, like how you first talk about your ex and how you dealt with them, you know what I'm saying? Exactly. Now, there's sometimes they'll talk about, yeah, I'm still friends with them, and that's cool. Like, all right, that you know, if they're like super dope friends or stuff, super close friends, then I'm kind of like a little suspect, because like, y'all friends with benefits or friends, you know, like what kind of friends y'all friending? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Like, y'all friends, y'all still too friendly.
You know what I'm saying? But there's sometimes it's like, yeah, I just got tired of him, so I left him. And I'm like, so that means that if you get tired of me, you gonna leave me? Like,
that means when things hit the fan, you gonna tuck tail and run.
Listen, and 8 out of 10 times they've done, like, that's their thing. And I was able to notice even in a recent relationship where that when they kept telling me stories about their past, and I started noticing signs, I was like, I guess my turn is coming.
I'm trying to tell you.
And I saw that thing from 10 miles away.
Look,
I was like,
if you
my turn is coming.
Like,
and I started seeing those, because it's like, that's why I say I'm big on conversations, because you learn a lot about people in conversation.
If you get in a relationship with a backup plan or a bug out plan already, you are in the wrong business.
I've learned to listen, because to details, and sometimes I don't listen to just respond. I listen to gather from information. Like, okay, I'm reading between the lines. Like, you know, you learn a lot about people based on the decisions they made in their past. Now they can change and, you know, whatever, but you know that right stuff. Old habits are hard to die. They die. And so I pay attention to how things that happen in their history. And even for me, I mean, I like, if I'm talking about my ex or whatever, I give a healthy outlook. I don't be like, oh yeah, and it was all her fault. Like,
I tell them it's my fault. There's a lot of things that were my fault. No, there's things that were my fault. Not own it. But you know what, man? I'm gonna tell you something. You ever heard the poem Wise Old Owl? The wise old owl sat on the oak. The more he sat, the less he spoke. The less he spoke, the more he heard. Why can I be like the wise old bird? That's how you got to be in a lot of these situations. Because if you're talking and trying to get everything out and doing everything like that in the midst of what's going on, and not paying attention to how she moving, you missing everything. Because you're talking and trying to watch for actions, but at the same time, if somebody's upset with you or they're telling off on us, you're like this. And you're making mental checks. You're like, okay, so she talks really ill about her past relationship. She talks really ill about him, and let's say they have a kid. That means the same thing may happen to you if you have a child with this woman. She may talk bad about you to your child, which is really damaging to the child.
Listen, and it's just, I observe. You listen and you observe. And they say that dating is like data collection, and so, like, I can tell that's a turnoff. It's like how you handled your past. Like, if there's just you know, and like I said, I watch a lot of these dating shows online, and they'll talk, and I'll be like, ooh. I could really tell I'm not as pretty as you are. I can be like, this would not be enjoyable, because it's just, you have this nasty outlook of your past, and I'm just like, ooh, you're not pleasant.
Ain't nothing worse than a beautiful woman with a bad attitude.
Ooh, that's a turn off. That bad attitude, that nasty,
disrespectful.
Yeah, that's nasty.
Even
and
if
it's
it ain't
like,
towards you, and it's
just
to other
like,
people.
Oh
no,
oh geez.
No, I will never take you nowhere.
Listen, that nastiness, like, you talk and you just be nasty to folk, and you just nice to me because you're trying to get with me or something. Like, nah, I can't bang with that, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? No pun intended. But, like, it's just like, yo, like, how you treat people is big.
Oh yeah,
how you treat people is big, man. And so I'm just noticing, man, like, we're in it's a wild world out here, man. You know, I don't even want to bring up the Diddy stuff, but that's just experiencing wild.
I'm gonna be quiet about this.
We're gonna be quiet about it. But when I mean by wild, it's wild out here, man.
I'm still trying to fight it.
I brought it up. It's a podcast. We're gonna bring it up a little bit,
bruh. Like, no,
I'm not gonna get into the depths of it, but I bring it out here because we dealing with it. It's out here in front of our faces, man. People's skeletons are coming out their closets, bro.
Yeah, it is. And everything done in the dark will be brought to light.
Listen, man, you gotta be careful with some of these stories you hear, man, because I've heard a lot of stories about people, and, you know, I thought it was too far-fetched. Then in the right time. So like I said, man, you listen to people talk. You finally learn a lot about
They'll
people.
Expose themselves without you having to do anything.
And I'm learning in life, you reap what you sow.
Yep. You may not see it right away, but later on down the line, everything that you've done will show and grow. Listen,
I'm here. I'm listen. I know that it goes both ways. Like you reap what you sow, not just the person, but you too. Like if whatever I've sown, I'm gonna reap. And so whether it's good or bad, whatever it is, and so I am careful. Like I'm very careful how I treat people and how I treat. Because again, it comes back, man. It comes back, and so I am thankful. Like I said, I am entering a really great chapter of my life, but it's because I've dealt with a lot of. You know what I'm saying? I've dealt with a lot of craziness and it did not change me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, dealing with betrayal, being cheated on, dealing with all that stuff. And I did not let that change me. And like, I didn't become a jerk. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's like, because it's like, yo, life comes in full circle, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, let life deal with the people or with the people who've done you wrong, whether it's your boy, your exes, whatever, whoever it is. Family, whatever. Let life deal with them. And you do your part and continue to be authentic in yourself. And so it's like I've learned in life as you continue to grow and build and do what you do, man, keep treating people right. Keep being nice to folk. Keep being authentic. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That stuff pays off, man.
Don't let nothing like that. Don't let bad situations change you.
That's what I'm saying, and so that's why I'm saying, like, when you hear people talk about their past, that's what sparked this whole soapbox. Was like sometimes people in their past, you be like, "Ooh, you handled that pretty not too well."
I'm trying to tell you,
you know, and I'm like, I don't want that karma coming my way.
No,
like,
and the thing is, like, to be honest, I know I'm not perfect.
None of us are.
I know I've made mistakes. I may not be everybody's flavor, and that's perfectly fine. And I accept that, but also I know, as a man, I've learned that knowing your worth makes you that much more valuable. And you also will not take certain things, and the things that used to maybe be a turn on may actually become a turn off later. Part.
And that's like, for me, I've evolved. Like as a 45-year-old, you know, 20 years ago when I was 25, you know, it was totally different, you know, and so I've evolved. Like, and there are things that may be the same base, but maybe it matured, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, my taste in women may not be the same when I was 25. My attraction to, you know what I'm saying? My turn-ons may have the same base, but it may have matured, you know what I'm saying? And so I have to accept that, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm growing. It may change when I'm turned 50, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just constantly improving, constantly searching myself, making sure I'm keeping it, being authentic, you know what I'm saying, at all times. And so that's doing the inner work is like, that's big for me. Yeah. I am not afraid of looking in the mirror, and meeting someone who's not afraid to look in the mirror, a female who's not afraid to look in the mirror, not just, you know, to apply makeup, but to actually do some soul work, you know what I'm saying? That's big for me, man. You know, and like, and again, you can find that out through conversation. It was like, yo, what about yourself you need to improve? You know what? You know what I'm saying? Like, don't come to me all perfect, because it's like we all got stuff.
But it takes self-actualization in that situation, because like a lot of people don't really see what the reality is. They see what the fantasy is, and they live in a world that doesn't really exist. They just kind of like, oh, as long as I can keep these people paying attention to me and then it works both ways. It's not just women, it's men too. Yeah. They try to get the same kind of attention over and over again, but the thing that they're really yearning for is the attention of that one person that they really care about, or somebody to really show them what love really is. Because
if you haven't fully dealt with things in your past, it'll show back up. And that's big in conversation, like, you know, finding out, have you really got over your ex? Have you really gotten over that situation? Like, you know what I'm saying? And for me to be in the position where I am, you know, dating, you know, like looking around and stuff like that, before I got to that point, I had to really deal with what I had to deal with, you know what I'm saying?
You have to heal that inner child.
And, you know, that part.
For real.
And I feel like I'm at a stage in my life where a stage in my walk where I'm good. Like I have a healthy outlook on what has happened to me in my past. I don't have no ill feelings towards anyone in my past. And it's like I dealt with it, and I'm dealing with it, and I'm growing, and I'm healing from it. And so I love that energy, man. And so, yeah, man, we talked a little bit about that, man. We might have some of these females. Listen, when we get into the new studio, we're going to bring some guests in. We're going to have some really deep conversations.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be fun.
It's going to be fun.
I want to be able to hear other perspectives.
But, yo, make sure y'all comment, man. You got to keep
let us know you want to get on. If you want to get on, we got you.
Yeah, then let me know what you think. What are some of your turn-offs? Like, we be posting up on Instagram or By the Wounds Pod Instagram. Make sure y'all interact with us, show us love, let us know. If we ask a question, answer it. You know what I'm saying? Put it in the comments here, even on YouTube, whether you are, on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, man. Let us know. Hit us up. Let us know what you think on this conversation. This is a really good conversation from two young black men about turn-ons and turn-offs in the opposite sex. And, we may have hit some nerves, or we may just been just fine. We want to know.
Yeah.
It's
all about respect here. So
yeah.
Anything that you do put in the comments, please be respectful. Because we're going to be respectful to y'all. And at the end of the day, this is a open dialogue that we invite you to make sure that you're able to get your voice heard.
Listen, we're going to go live. We're going to go live.
For the people.
We're going to go live because we want to interact with y'all. And so once we announce it, y'all better tune in. We may go live on Battle Wounds Pod's IG, or we may go live somehow on YouTube, however.
And we will pull you onto the show.
Yeah, listen,
so be ready for that.
Be ready for that.
Look, make sure your hair done. Make sure
we might switch it up on y'all. Yeah. So stay tuned. There's a lot of new things happening for Battle Wounds Podcast. I really enjoyed this conversation, man, and I'm glad to be back from our 2-week little mid-season break. We needed a little break. I needed a breather, and now we're getting back and we're getting ready to transition to some new space soon. So come on, listen. Make sure y'all subscribe. Make sure y'all tune in, lock in with us. Again, shout out to who sponsored this episode.
Will Young at waittowear.com. Make sure y'all go check him out. The winter collection and fall collection are coming, and we still got some stuff from the summer. It's gonna be an all
support
wear.
Right now, y'all. Please, this is some great stuff. We support people who are adding value to people's lives, and this brand right here is adding so much value to people's lives. And so, check out the website. The information's on the description below, and it'll be on the screens. And again, thank you so much for tuning into our Battle Wounds podcast, man. This is your boy Amos St. John.
It's your boy Tank.
Listen, health is
wealth.
Wealth, buddy. We ain't playing with y'all. Come on. Health is wealth. We thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see y'all on the next one next week. Peace.
Y'all be blessed.